ساتوی پسرو وینو داد شهیدانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو داد شهیدانو کور داد کور داد باتورانو کور.
Good evening and welcome to this hour's news. I'm Suleiman Talash and you're watching RTA News. Today is Monday, the 3rd of March 2025. Maulavi Fazl Muhammad Haqqani, the ambassador of the Islamic Emirate in Tehran, met with Mohammad Reza Bahrami, the director of the South Asia Department at the Iranian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Afghan embassy in Iran reported that the meeting addressed the latest development in bilateral relations, the situation of Afghan refugees living in Iran, and the enhancement of diplomatic and economic ties between the two countries. Muhammad Yunus Moman, the first deputy director of the Afghanistan Chamber of Commerce and Investment, met with the head of the Pakistan Chamber of Commerce and Investment during his visit to Pakistan. The discussions focused on improving trade relations and transit issues between the two countries. Mr. Moman noted that park closures cause significant economic losses for traders and undermine international trade principles. In response, the head of the Pakistan Chamber of Commerce and Investment offered his support in resolving these issues. The Ministry of Economy has rejected the latest OCHA report stating that 14.8 million people in Afghanistan face food insecurity. The ministry's professional deputy noted that the main contributors to the poverty and unemployment are frozen assets held by the international community and restrictions on humanitarian aid. Our colleague Yama Aryan has the rest of the story.
The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, or OCHA, has issued a press release stating that 14.8 million people in Afghanistan are facing food insecurity and need urgent assistance.
This Ramadan arrives when 14.8 million people in Afghanistan are experiencing food insecurity, including 3.1 million who are in an emergency and require urgent assistance.
We can think about long-term investments in infrastructure and production sectors, and in the long term, we can move towards self-sufficiency. However, for now, foreign aid has its own effectiveness.
The Ministry of Economy asserts that the latest report from the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, or OCHA, does not accurately reflect the situation in Afghanistan. They state that the frozen assets of the country, along with restriction on humanitarian aid delivery, have resulted in widespread poverty and unemployment among many Afghans.
Firstly, the OCHA report does not reflect all the realities of Afghanistan, and secondly, some of the economic problems are due to sanctions and the freezing of the assets of the people of Afghanistan.
It is important to note that the Islamic Emirate has consistently urged the international community to return Afghanistan's frozen assets and avoid politicizing humanitarian aid.
The Ministry of Energy and Water has announced that construction has begun on a canal, a retaining wall, 8 culverts, and 2 large and small water control gates in Qubat village located in the Lower Maiwan district of Kandahar province. The total cost of the projects is 29 million Afghanis, funded by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, and the work is expected to be completed within 8 months. Afghanistan has exported fresh fruits valued over $143 million to various countries around the world in the past 11 months of this year. Officials from the Ministry of Industry and Commerce report that these exports have been sent to Asian countries as well as the United States and Australia. We have more in this report.
Officials from the Ministry of Industry and Commerce reports that during the first 11 months of this year, nearly 296,000 tons of fresh fruits have been exported to various foreign countries. According to the spokesman for the ministry, these exports valued at $143 million and $110,000 have been made to countries including Pakistan, India, the United Arab Emirates, China, England, the Netherlands, the United States, France, Australia, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Canada.
During the 11 months of the 1403 solar year, Fresh fruit exports were made to countries including Pakistan, India, the United Arab Emirates, China, the UK, the Netherlands, and the United States, France, Australia, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Canada. The total weight of the exports amounted to approximately 296 tons, valued at around $143 million and $110,000.
Officials from the Chamber of Agriculture and Livestock Production state that due to increased attention and standardization, fresh fruits exports have risen compared to previous years.
In the area of standardization, sorting and labeling, as well as finding alternative markets, we were able to access new markets by utilizing modern packaging methods for domestic products. This effort led to an increase in our exports compared to previous years.
Officials from the Ministry of Industry and Commerce reported that the fruits include apples, pomegranates, grapes, fresh figs, apricots, cherries, mulberries, melons, blackberries, watermelons, and other varieties of fruits.
The Counter-Narcotics Deputy Department of the Ministry of Interior Affairs, in collaboration with the Counter-Narcotics Management Department of Kabul Province, has arrested 71 individuals involved in the sale, use, and transportation of narcotics during the various operations across different districts of Kabul. During these operations, authorities recovered 3.244 kilograms of methamphetamine, 4 kilograms of heroin, 4.497 kilograms of hashish, 17 packets and 3 bottles of alcoholic beverages, 2,276 drug pills, as well as 2 AKM rifles, 1 M4 weapon, and a couple of pistols. The Counter-Terrorism Police of the Ministry of Interior Affairs seized several military ammunition in Panjshir and Parwan provinces. According to the Ministry of Interior Affairs, the recovered military ammunition included 5 different weapons, 12 anti-personnel mines, and other types of ammunition. And the final one is that the Nuristan Police Headquarters says that they seized several weapons in the Mandol district during a series of operations. According to the information, the weapons include 5 AKMs that were secretly kept in houses. Officials say that the seized military weapons will be registered at the Mandol Police Headquarters and later officially handed over to the Technical Directorate of the Nuristan Police Headquarters in the presence of officials. That's all for tonight. Thank you so much for being with us. Stay with us to stay updated. Have a good night.
ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا